All right, it's the 16th of July and it's a Wednesday and we've got about 25 minutes to the NY Open. Just give me a second. Okay. Just let me know if the sound is good. If I'm audible, sound is clear. No echo. Perfect. Thanks, Philip. All right, so let's start with the calendar, like we usually do. Today we've got PPI, 8:30 a.m. EST. It's 7:35 a.m. EST right now, so we've got about 55 minutes for news. So we have plenty of time for analysis and prep work. And on Thursday, we have retail sales, right? So this week should be a decent week. It's been so far. We had volume. The first couple of hours of NY Open, we had volume. Yesterday, first 3 hours, we had volume. So it's a decent week. We should continue. All right. Okay, let's go up a time frame to the weekly. Right, price is dropping, right? We've had this level marked for several weeks now, for about 4 weeks. We've had this red box, this red rectangle marked here and the green one marked here. Price, we anticipated price to get there from down here, it did. And we anticipated price to push down. And the reason for that is this is a decision level. Why is it a decision level? When on a higher time frame, if price takes an opposing zone, right? If it takes out an opposing demand zone on a high time frame, and when I say high time frame, I mean the weekly and the daily, right? Then that becomes a decision level. Price gets there and it decides what to do. Is it going to go through, or is it going to reverse there, right? Are we going to get a reversal there, right? And what's happened here, if you go to the daily, it's clearer. That's the zone, right? This is the drop base, 5 base in candles and a drop. And this decision level took out this demand zone here. That is why it became a decision level. So it's not just a daily supply zone, but it's also a decision level. And price got there and decided to reverse, right? Now, sometimes on the 4-hour time frame, if price gets there, on the 4-hour time frame, especially if you get there, and price begins to range there for maybe 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, then it's very likely we are not going to get a reversal there, but price is going to go through that, right? We've discussed that many times on the streams. So now we're getting a reversal from there, and it seems like price is pushing down, and price has now come to a demand level, right? There's a rally, a base, and a rally here. Is price going to push up from here? Are we going to get a retracement back up here, right? It seems like it. Or is price going to range here for a bit so that price can continue going lower, right? So that this is not exactly a decision level. It could be, because this level has taken out that demand there. So it could be a decision level, but we need to see, because of the bearish volume, is price going to push through this and come to this candle here, or come towards 3,300, or are we going to get a retracement and then a continuation up here, right? Because if you look at the weekly time frame, on the weekly we are bullish, right? On the weekly we are bullish, we're pushing up. So is this the area where we're going to get a liquidity grab and continue the weekly direction, right? That's important to see today. This candle has no bottom wick, so can price push down, create a bottom wick, and then continue up to for the weekly direction, because the weekly is bullish, right? We have weekly support formed here. We have a candle, a strong bullish candle that has rejected 3,300 and 3,289. So is this the area the price is going to probably grab liquidity from here or just below here, and then continue to push up for the weekly direction, right? Or are we going to get a push down here for price to drop to 3,300? We'll know more when we look at the lower time frames. Let's go to our trading chart. Right. Before we do this, before we draw zones, I always do a recap of any trades that I've taken the previous day or any setups that were given. Now, we took a trade during the stream yesterday, and I gave a setup, two trade ideas for later on, right? One of them played out. Let's go through them one by one. Okay. During the stream, we took sells when price came here. There were I had marked the price levels, precise price levels here. There were old weekly lows. Price came, tapped there. As soon as price tapped that, we took a sell trade. And the reason we were looking for sells, let me just zoom in, because price had rejected the London high before pre-NY. This is 1300 hours on IC market server time, and price had created resistance there, grab liquidity from the liquidity candle that was pushing down, right? And this was the candle before the NY opened. That candle closed below the London low. That was a strong bearish close. It closed below the London low and also below the EMAs, right? So I was anticipating for price to pull back, probably grab liquidity from just above it and continue. That's exactly what happened. I'd marked the price levels, exactly where the entries would, where price would come to. We discussed that. And when price wicked up, I placed my entries, right? They were the market orders placed at the time where price pushed up. Price dropped down. There was a liquidity candle here. We went through that. There were TP levels marked here. And there was another level that was marked here. So there was this level that was marked. If you watch yesterday's stream, this was another weekly low that I had marked. I said if the 30-minute candle, closes at this level or just below it, then we're heading further down, right? If you reject that level and close above here, I said we could likely push up. So price closed at 3340.4 or 0.5. It closed at that. So that means price is heading down and push back, and there was a retracement here. There was a trade here. This candle touched 3350, closed below. This candle broke the low. So there was a trade here. Yeah. This was a trade. Price came here, 3350, and pushed further down, right? I took a second trade and I got out here just around, just above 3332, right? So the sell idea played out, and then the entries during the stream also played out, okay? So let's get rid of all of these and start with today's zones. Okay. Get rid of this as well. All of that. Yeah, so what price did is in the second half of the NY session, it broke below the liquidity candle and then closed back inside the liquidity candle, and then the next candle was a bullish candle, right? So this too is a perfect trade to take for buys. If you're trading the second half of the NY session, you draw the fib from like so. Yeah, because this candle broke this high, this one tapped the EMA, and this one broke the high. The next bullish candle broke the high. So from that high, and that's a perfect entry at the optimal level. And you can put your stop loss under there about 50 pips or 40, 48, 49 pips. And price pushed up, but it pushed up during the Asian session. Okay, all right. Okay, let's get rid of this as well. Let me have a clean chart. Okay, done. Let's start. Just save this. Okay. All right. So we have a rally, a base, and a drop here. Let's take a look at this on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, I would draw it like this. This would be the rally. All of these are basin candles because they're all stacked one beside the other. And then the leg out right there. Okay, let's take a look on 30-minute as well. Yeah, it's good on the 30-minute. Okay, so this high is 642,793. 642. And that is H4 supply. Okay, we'll just move this up so we don't overlap this zone. 642. Done. Let's extend this liquidity candle to the right. And that's still a high liquidity zone because we've hardly come into that zone. It's a 89 pip zone. Price has come just 5 pips into it, right? If price crosses the 50% mark of a zone, then I remove the high liquidity zone label, right? I don't consider it a high liquidity zone anymore. All right. Let's continue with supply. Right now, price has gone over 3350 psychological round number. Whenever it does, we need to look at the lower time frame, right, and see if there's a zone there. And there is a zone. There is a drop, a base, a drop here. Let's mark that. Let's take a look at that on 30-minute as well. Interesting. The basin candle all the way down here. Yeah, we're going to have to mark it that way because this is the leg in. These are all basin candles. This candle starts, this is the first candle of the basin candle. The reason for that being the base start of the basin candle is because that has more collective wick than body, and so do these two candles. So they're all basin candles, and then this is the leg out. 215, open 085. 215085. Okay, perfect. And that is 1 hour supply because it's visible on the 1 hour. Okay, and price has already come there and we are reacting. We could come deeper. It's a large zone. 112, yeah, it could come deeper. All right, that's very possible. All right, let's go back to the 4 hour. I think that's good for supply. We have two zones here. We've covered about 360 pips to the upside. I think that's good. Just in case, let's extend this as well. Maybe for later on, maybe for next week, or even for tomorrow or this week, later this week. All right, yeah, we've covered 500 pips to the upside. That's plenty. Now let's look at demand. We've got a drop, a base, a rally here, right? Let's start there. Let's take a look at that on the 1 hour time frame. 30-minute as well. I think the 1 hour is good. Yeah, that's how I would draw it. This would be the leg in. All of these would be base-in candles, and that would be the leg out, right? Let's take a look at on the 4 hour. What happens if you bring this down here? No, I would keep it on the. I would keep it here. Yeah. So this would be the open 113, and this low is 022. And that's 4-hour demand. And the rest we extend to the right. We should be pushing deeper into the zone. We should come above this high, come deeper into the zone. Maybe, oops. Yeah, we could be coming up here. Yeah. Could be coming up there. Anyway, let's see. So we've covered about 300 pips to the downside. Maybe this one as well. Extend this as well. Okay, so for the NY session today, we've got two new supply zones. There's a 4-hour supply zone above, there's a 1-hour supply zone here, and there's a new 4-hour demand zone here, right? We're going to take a closer look at these zones and see if they are high liquidity zones, right? So let's start here. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame. So basically what I'm looking for, it has this zone taken out opposing demand. It has this candle here, this supply has taken out that, and has also taken out these lows here. This rally base rally here, or this rally base, these all base-in candles. This rally base rally, yeah, we've taken out that as well. So that's a high liquidity zone. This one too is a high liquidity zone. This zone has taken out this demand here, rally base rally, price push down. Yeah, this candle here has taken out that. That too is a high liquidity zone. Let's look at the demand zone below. Has it taken out anything to the left? Let's go to the 30-minute time frame. Yes, there is a rally, there is a base here, and there is a drop, and this push up took out that. So this too is a high liquidity zone. Done. All right. Those are the zones. Any questions on the analysis so far? Please drop a message in the chat and I will answer any questions. Next, we're going to identify, we're going to see if there is a high liquidity candle in this supply zone, and then in the one above and this demand zone below, right? So I'm looking for, let's go back to the 1-hour time frame. We're looking for the largest bearish candle from here that's close to the zone. That's a large candle. That's a 181 pip candle. Let's start with that. It's a good place to start. Let's go to 30-minute time frame. That candle there, that engulfs the entire zone. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame. Now on the 15, we have this candle, 93 pips. We have this, which is 136, and we have this outside the zone, which is 129. So we'll have to go to the 5-minute. There's nothing on the 5-minute. I think we're going to have to make do with the 15. Oh, here. 111. That's outside the zone. 89. Let's take a look at the 5-minute again. Yeah, that would be the candle. Price has tapped it already in the London session. Yeah. Could come to this candle as well. 137. 111. Okay. 243128. Let's go with this. 128 was it? Yeah. Let's go with this candle. Price has tapped it in the London session. Tapped it again twice. Tapped it once, come down. Tapped it twice. Could come a third time. We could go deeper. Okay. Let's look further up. Same thing. Let's look here for a candle in the zone or left of the zone. There is that 118. Let's go to 30-minute. $94. Also 94. 88. Let's go to the 15. $66. 59. 72. 63. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. There's nothing there on the 5-minute except this. 44. 51. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, 750976. 7.6, and that candle should cover the 15-minute candle as well. Yeah, it covers that low as well. That's good enough, and covers this as well. See, perfect tap into the liquidity candle. That's one. 750,976. Okay. Gonna move this up. 59.76. Oh, okay, done. Just take another look at these very closely. Zone here, liquidity candle here. To the left. Yeah, that makes sense. We could come deeper. Liquidity candle here. Okay, good. Let's look at demand. See if you have a liquidity candle here. This is the NY open. We still have about 27 minutes for news, so we're going to wait for that, right? News is in 27 minutes now. There's plenty of time. Let's take a look at the 1 hour candle. 1 hour time frame. Here, this would be the largest candle, 102 pips. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame. With this candle here, that's 70 pips. Let's look at the 15. 56. 49. Let's go to the 5-minute. Yeah, 15 is good. This one right here. 581022. 581022. All right. Done. Done. All right. So we have two new supply zones with liquidity candles above and a new demand zone with a liquidity candle below here, right? Now, next thing is we're going to look at what price did the Asian and London session. Let's go to the 15-minute time frame and see where the market opened. That's the market open right there. Around 33.24, 33.24.25, right? That's where the market opened. Now, we're bearish. Yeah. Let's first identify the Asian low and highs. Yeah. Asian high and London low is almost at the same price. Okay. This low 2509, 508, 566. 301. Okay, let's take a look at. We're coming up. We're coming. We should break the London high. Should break the London high. Okay. EMAs are flatlining, right? That's the first thing I notice. EMAs are flatlining. Price is moving sideways. If you look at the 1 hour time frame, that's exactly what we see. Price is moving sideways, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8.5, 8 hours, just over 8 hours, we've been moving sideways. There's nothing to do here, right? There's nothing to do here. We want price above this or price below this, right? There's liquidity above, liquidity below. The liquidity above is the liquidity candle and 3350, which is psychological round number. The liquidity levels below is the weekly SR level and the liquidity candle below here, right? That is where price is going to be coming to. So if it needs to push down, it's going to come up above this to push down. If it needs to push up, it's going to very likely come below this to grab liquidity to push up, right? Um, okay. Let's take a closer look at what price has done in the Asian and London session. So in the Asian session, we've moved about almost 100 pips. Yeah. And when I say in the Asian session, I'm referring to the first 2 hours or the first 3 hours or so of the session open, right? So in the London session also, we've moved about 75 pips. So not much, just about 190 pips in total today. So we have some movement left. On average, prices range in about 400, 425 pips a day in the last 3 days. So we've done just about 45% of that today, right? So there is a good move left. Now the question is that move going to happen with the news, with PPI, uh, which I personally think it's unlikely, and I'll explain why. Uh, but it could happen later on. Is it going to happen now with news in the next 20 minutes, or is it going to happen later on, right? The reason I say a little unlikely is because it's PPI, it's not CPI, and it's not NFP, right? So for that very reason, I price can the volume a volume push can happen later around NYSE open and not at NY open, right? So the news event is at NY open 30 minutes after NY open. So that's why I feel price the volume could come in later on. So we got to be careful with any fake outs, right? If price closes above, we got to be careful because anyway we can't take buy. I will not take buys inside this, inside a supply zone. We'll have to probably wait for price to push up, and then let's see what happens if price closes back below the London high. That means if it rejects and closes back below the London high, that's a good signal for price to be heading down, right? And it could first come to 3332, which is a weekly SR level, and then if it gets past that, if we close a 30-minute candle at a 3332 or in that area or just below, then price could be heading down to 3325 or 3326, right? That's about a 150, 160 pip move down, and that's a move that I would like to take if prices come down. If price is to continue higher, then I would have to wait for price to pull back here, right? Let's just take another look at this on the 30-minute time frame. If I have missed a demand level here. No, not really. There is one here coming off the 30 minute, coming off this weekly SR level. 70, 57. Yeah, there could be a demand level here, but even if there was one, price has tapped it, has come deep into it, so we're very likely going to go through. And even if there was one there, I'm not going to take buys there because that's just 60. There is a supply zone 60 pips away. It makes no sense to take buys here when you got a supply zone 60 pips away. Um, okay. I'm based in, where am I based? I'm based in, currently in Mumbai, India. Yeah, but that's not relevant to what we're talking about. Anyway, um, okay, so we'll have to wait for the candle to close. I would prefer sells today. Daily time frame is pushing down. I would prefer to take sells for a few reasons. This daily candle has no bottom wick. We closed a strong bearish daily candle below 3332, right? So this could be a liquidity grab for price to continue down, right? That's one way of looking at it. And I would, for that reason, I would favor sells, right? Because the sell idea is clearer. The daily candle has rejected 3350, closed below 3332. That's a weekly SR level. We are coming down from this decision level, daily supply level. We're coming down from that. This current daily candle has no bottom wick. So price is pushing up. So we could grab liquidity and maybe NYSE open, we could begin to push down, right? For those reasons, I would favor sells because, as I said, there is a kind of a thought process that kind of pans out for sells. For buys, I would need price to push down, create support, and then for price to push up, right? I'm not taking any buys here in this area. I'm not taking any buys from this area here because simply there is no room for price to move. For just that reason, I would not take buys, right? I need to see profit potential, right? So price and the ability for price to push up. So we are very slowly pushing up right now. You can see price pushed up, is trading above this and below this in this range. So if I were to draw, since we have another 15 minutes, let me just draw some support resistance levels for you guys. Um, okay, that's the resistance level. Just want to show you guys where price is, what zone we are trading in right now. Okay, right. So previously we were trading in this range here, right? You can see price was trading there. Then we closed above and now we're trading in this range, right? So below this is liquidity, above it is liquidity, right? So for sells, as I explained, Here's where I want price to come up here and look to take the sells down. If it doesn't, well, and price pushes further down, I can't take sells in here because this is a demand zone. So we'll have to just wait. We'll have to wait. As I said, I have a feeling that we're going to get a trade after NYSE open, right? That's at 9:30 a.m. EST. So we have another hour, 10 minutes for NYSE open, right? I think PPI news is going to be trading in this range, and I'm not taking sells here, and I'm not taking sells here either because there is no space to trade. It's coming down to 3332, right? So I just drew this to show you guys what the range is. That's a range there. There's a range here from here to here, about 60-70 pips, and there's another range here from about 60-70 pip range, right? So I would like to see price push up. If we come down here, we can take maybe buys. If we come here, we can take buys around from this liquidity level, right? As I always say, there are 5 key areas that I look for on a price chart, these liquidity levels, and the weekly SR levels is one of them, and that's a weekly SR level. So price comes there. You can see if you have structure 30-minute support form for price to continue up. Okay. I'm going to get rid of these. I don't need this on the chart. Okay. We're waiting for news. Interesting. This is the same level the price has been reacting to for the last 2 days. That's an old weekly level, and we reacted it yet again, and we're falling down. We tapped it. This candle tapped it. Didn't close. This one tapped it, closed below. Yeah, price could drop from here. We're dropping. This old weekly level, 3340.441, right? Price has reacted to it yesterday. We came close to it the day before, and then on Friday, last Friday as well, we traded at it. That's a very important level, 3340.41. Yeah. And this candle tapped it. This one didn't break. This candle tapped it, and this one broke the low. So what is this low? 705, 184. Yeah. If price pulls back, I would take let's see, PPI. Similar to yesterday, if it pulls back, I would take a sell for price to drop here with a very tight stop loss above the London high. It needs to come up. It needs to come up. I'm going to wait for this candle to close, 30-minute candle to close. We've tapped this, wait for the 30-minute candle to close, and then take a trade. Stop loss above the London high. If we pull back, anticipate price to come to 33.32 and then to this, to around here, 33.28. Let's see. Because this level, 33.40, 41. Yeah. This is well before pre-NY. Did this tap it? Yeah, it did. That's the swing high. What is this? 71 pips. We've broken the low already. I'm going to place the pending order here. 38.23. Okay. Tight stop loss. Yeah, 40 pips. 40 pips is okay. 15-minute. But we haven't broken this low. We haven't broken this low yet. No. I'm gonna wait. I deleted the order. If he priced this wick had broken this low, then yes, kind of it's okay. But just gonna wait. Six and a half minutes for news. I want price to break this low. If it breaks the low, better. 30-minute candle. Let's see if it's going to close bearish. This one. Yeah, it needs to close bearish. Yeah, I'm not gonna take any sells, place any pending orders for news. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. If price had broken this low, I would have been happy. I would have been more comfortable in placing pending orders and putting my stop loss above that or above this candle right here and waiting for news. But since we didn't, and price has created support at the Asian high, so we came to the London low, we pushed, we rejected. This is the London high. We rejected, we came down, and price is rejecting the London low and trying to push back up. So it's best to wait. If you had broken this low, yeah, then we could say that we've broken the low. Price could pull back, continue down. But it's best to wait. We could come above. Did we? We didn't. Yeah, we didn't do this. We didn't look at the 15-minute time frame in detail. We can do that now. I don't remember if you did it, but if you didn't do it, if you did it, I apologize. If you didn't do it, then I'm doing it now. So the market opened here. We were ranging yesterday after the bearish move down. Price began to range, and then it opened in the liquidity candle that it had created in the New York session the previous day. It opened here in that liquidity candle, so price pushed up straight away. As soon as it opened, pushed up to 33.32 weekly SR. We rejected that level. We went above, created the Asian high, pushed back down past 3332 to the liquidity candle. We formed the Asian low, tapped the liquidity candle and pushed back to 3332, closed above it, went straight up to the Asian high, closed above it, went further up towards the EMAs, pulled back, created the London low, and then pushed up into the liquidity candle, ranged again between the EMAs and this liquidity candle, pushed back up into it, created the London high, and we've been ranging. As I said, for the last 8.5 hours, 8.5 to 9 hours, we've been ranging. So price just ranged in that area between the liquidity candle and the London low. And then we formed 30-minute resistance, created the London high, pushed down, formed 30-minute resistance here, and pushed straight down to the London low, closed below it, closed back above it, and the next candle broke the high, and that is why I don't want to take a sell here, because we've respected this low. Price hasn't broken this low that forms support above the London high. This candle closed above the London high, and price hasn't broken this low. If it broke the low, I'd be more comfortable in taking the sells. The pullback and the sells. Always, for me, it's a pullback and sells. It's not a breakout trade. So I would want price to break the low for me to look for sells, because this 30-minute support formed when price got to the London low, formed and then pushed price up back above to this area, to this 3340.41. Once you break the low, then I would look to take the pullback and the trade. There we go. Are we breaking the low? Yes. Low 385, low 380. Yes, we did break the low. There we go. Now, if price pulls back, I would take the sells on news. If it pulls back, I would take the sells if it pulls back. Now we've broken the low, and we're very likely going to close below the London low and the Asian low. And if we close below, we could be coming down to the Asian low. We could be coming down here. Let's put a TP level there. What's this open? 26, so 27, 27, 27, and then around 26. 27, 26 area, right? That's where we'll be coming to. A minute more for news. What numbers are they expecting? Let's take a quick look at what numbers they're expecting. Core PPI. They're expecting good numbers. They're expecting good numbers. They were expecting good numbers yesterday for CPI, and it came out bad numbers, but price still pushed down. So it doesn't matter what numbers come out. It only matters where is liquidity. Has price grabbed enough liquidity to push down? That's the question, right? So I'm going to have my finger on the trigger. If price comes up like yesterday, I'm going to take sells. Okay. If price comes up, I'm going to take sells, because we've broken the low. I'm going to take sells to come down. These are the areas I'm waiting for price to head to. Stop loss above that, the London high. That's safer. Or you can place it above here. News, let's see if I'm going to open a trade here. Open a trade for news. On another one. See if we can push up further. I'll take another entry. I'm going to place the pending order here. What's this? Close 931. No, open 823. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Yeah, it's a strong bearish engulfing candle from this. Should be pushing down. That's about 68, so about 70 pips there. 33.26. Coming down. That's a daily low. Coming down. 33.24. 23. 33.23. Yeah. Yeah, 33.23 would be my final TP. So that's about 135 pips. 33.23. Could come further. If there's a lot of bearish volume, we could come through this liquidity candle and to this one. It's very possible. 20. Let's see if he can come up here. If he can get up here. There we go. Coming up further. Now we got to find a place to manage risk here, right? No trade is a trade if you don't have a place to manage risk. $33.40. 39. Yeah, 33.39. 33.39 and then 42. Okay, so those are levels that you want to manage risk at. If price goes against you and in drawdown, yeah, that makes sense. 1 second. Yeah, 42 makes sense. Yeah. 33.39, 33.42, right? So if price breaks this high, I'll close partial positions. So I don't lose, so I lose less. 50 pips there. Maybe I'll close these two trades and leave these two, right? For this one, right? So you don't let price go all the way and hit the stop loss. My final stop loss is above this, 33.43.01, 33.43. Yeah, you can put it as that, 43.02. Just about there. That's the final stop loss. happening? Okay, that's final stop loss, but these are levels that I'm going to manage risk. If you break the high, 33.39, we should stay below this. If you break the high, I close partial positions. If you get up here, if we close a 15-minute candle above 33.39, I might close everything, right? I usually don't. My stop loss is 40, 50 pips. I don't let price um, stay in drawdown below beyond those kind of pip levels, right? 40, 50 pips, I'm comfortable with. And it has to be your risk management has to be based off um, trading logic, right? It can't just be a random, place. It's something that you should be able to replicate the next day if you take a trade. So these levels are based off 15-minute or 30-minute support resistance levels, right? So if you look at this 33.39, if you zoom out, 33.39, look left, you can see price stayed above, stayed below, we ranged there. You can see how we reacted to 33.39 here. If you look left here, you can see how price reacted here. Price reacted here, stayed above, then stayed below, reacted, stayed above, stayed below. So it's a significant area, at least on the 15-minute or the 30-minute time frame. Same goes on the 30-minute and even on the 15-minute, right? It's an important level. And so are these levels 33.42, right? That's also an important level. You can see how price, stayed below it, tapped it, stayed below, tapped it, stayed below, right? Tapped it, stayed above. So 33.42, 33.39. See how the 30-minute that's a while. See how the 50-minute candle closes. 50-minute candle has about 5-6 minutes to close. If you come back up, as I said, I'm going to close partial positions here. Maybe hold 2 positions, and then if you close above, then I close everything. You've always got to find a way. Wow, spreads are really high. Really high. What's happening? News? More news? Did Trump say something on Truth Social? Spreads are very high. 5 pips. Wow. Rare for IC markets to have 5 pip spreads. Well, if you come here, you got to be careful with these spreads. If price comes here and there's a 5 pip spread, then if it touch this, I'm gonna close it because the 5 pip spread is not going to trigger my TP. We're coming back up. I'm going to manage risk. The spreads are very high. And what on earth is going on with IC markets? It's crazy spreads. And that too for so long. If we break this high, 33.39, I'm closing a few positions. Because then we can wait, and if we reject the London high again, then we can add back those positions for price to continue down, right? But it makes no sense in holding drawdown. If price breaks this is an important level we saw on the left. If price breaks that high, and then it's very likely going to push further up towards 33.42. So why hold drawdown an additional 30 pips? Then you can get out here and then re-enter if there is confirmation. If there is a 15-minute, back candle close again, strong back candle close, or a 30-minute back candle close below 33.39, then we can look to re-enter, right, to come further down, because we should be coming down to 33.26. 30-minute candle closed below the Asian low and below the Asian high and the London low, right? And that's the reason we looked, as soon as price broke this low, I said I'm looking to take sells, and that's why I opened these sells. Spreads are still high, 5 pips, still 5 pips. Wow. What on earth is going on with IC markets? Are you guys having high spreads as well on the brokers that you're trading, or is it just me? I guess I'm the only one with high spreads. These spreads are insane. It's usually 0.5 pips, 0.6. We came back to normal. That's what it is, 0.6, 0.7, 0.5, and then it suddenly goes 10 times that. Okay, 15-minute candle is about to close. We broke the high. There was no top wick there. We broke the high and we're pushing back down. Are we going to close below this? The 15-minute candle is not really important here. We need the 30-minute candle to stay below the Asian high and the London low. They are the same price. Asian high and London low are at the same price. So we need a 30-minute candle to stay below this. Just like this one stayed below, close below, we need another 30-minute candle to stay below this for the next candle to break the low and come down to 33.26. If a 30-minute candle closes below, a bearish candle closes below the Asian high or the London low, then we should pretty easily break 33.32 and head into this candle. This candle is clean space on the left. We should come straight down. If you remember at the beginning, I drew support resistance levels. I drew the range. At the top there, one here and one at the bottom. So once we close below this range, then we are going to trade into this range. And that's why I said price is going to come down to the bottom of that range, which is 33.26. Okay. But it needs to, let me draw those ranges again. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Okay, that's one. That's the bottom. Yeah, we're coming down. Oops. Oh, that's the middle. Yeah, yeah. So now you see, this is I had drawn this at the beginning of the stream. I said price traded in this range, then closed at it or above it, traded in that range. And now if we do the same thing here, then we're going to trade down into the bottom of the range. And that's where price is heading to. But it needs to close, just like this closed at the zone or above the zone, so does this candle. It needs to close inside the zone or below the zone for price to continue down. Are you guys in the cells? Has anyone taken cells? Maybe just me. Maybe I'm the only one who took cells. No one took these cells? No one. Yeah, so these cells price respected that high. That's the swing high, but this is also on the lower time frame. That's a swing high right there as well on the 50-minute time frame. So it respected the swing high. And the reason I'll repeat what I said before and why I took these trades, because this candle, this bullish candle here with no bottom wick, it tapped 3340.41. I had drawn that level well before the news, and price had tapped it and closed below it, and then the next candle broke the low. The next candle broke this low, so I drew the fib from the low of the 30-minute candle to the highest high of those two candles, and we came to the sniper level. Yeah, this came perfectly into the, but we were waiting for news, so I didn't want to take a trade here because this low hadn't been broken, and I explained why that low was important, because that's the low that formed 30-minute support, rejecting the Asian high and the London low, and the next candle broke above the high. So I wanted that low to be taken out. Soon as price took out the low, I waited for a pullback and we entered the trade, right? This one I placed a little too early, but these ones are fine. They on the pullback, I take the trade. We're anticipating price to now close at this support level here or below it. At it or below it is fine. and then for price to head down to 33.26 to the bottom of that range, right? That's the bottom of the range. But for that, price has to close at the level or below it. If it closes above, if it rejects this and closes above, then we're pushing back up, because that means price is still not done trading in this range, right? So it needs to close inside here in this gray area or below. If it closes above, then we're going to push back up. We're going to push back up, and I'm going to manage risk then, because it doesn't make sense to hold the trade when price starts to push back up and go in drawdown, right? It needs to close at it or below it, because if it doesn't, that means we're pushing up from 3332 and going back into this range here, trading back in the range. And if you reject the low, then we're very likely going back to the top of the range. So why hold drawdown, right? So 7 minutes more. Let's see what happens. We'll wait for this candle to close before I make a decision. I'll be back in a few minutes. Still, we've got about 7 minutes more. I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll see where the candle closes. Okay. So as I said, we got about 4 minutes for the candle to close. As I said before, if we close above, I'm going to manage risk. I'm not going to wait for price to go all the way up to 3339. I'm going to manage risk on this trade, right? It means that we are rejecting and we're still not done trading in this range. So price is very likely going to come back, but that's if it closes back inside the range, inside this. If we close at it, close a bearish candle, even a bullish candle, if you close here like a doji, I'll probably still hold the trade. But if you close a bullish candle somewhere here at the Asian high or above the Asian high, then I'm going to manage risk. I'm going to close a couple of my positions. I'm not going to wait for price to get up here, because we want price to create lower lows and lower highs to continue down to our TP levels, right? I've got 3326, 3323, and then 3319. 3319 is the next liquidity candle. 3319 is also deeper in this. Yeah, it's below the daily to fill this wick and continue down. That's about 200 pips if you get there. Yeah, about 200 pips, 196. Now, once this candle closes, we gotta wait for the candle to close. Let's wait. Could be a pullback again, another pullback. 096, low 106. Okay, let's see. Still, we got another minute and a half for the candle to close, so I'm not doing anything. Just waiting for this candle to close. If it closes, as I said, if you reject this support level, close like this above, then I'm gonna manage risk. I'm gonna close a couple of my positions. Seems like we are rejecting. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Just waiting for the candle to close, and it's another minute for the candle to close. Any questions with regard to the analysis that we did early on, the setup that was explained, the trade that I took? You can always post it in the chat, right? Anything related to what we've done so far, or any of, or even the stream yesterday. If you're here on the stream, if you were here during yesterday's stream, on setup that I took yesterday, on the trades that we took yesterday, we can discuss that too. I did discuss it right at the beginning of the stream, in fact, CPI stream. Okay, we are rejecting this. I'm going to manage risk here. I don't like the fact that price is rejecting this. So I'm going to candle closes. We're going to wait for the candle to close. We closed the doji. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to probably, let's look at the 15-minute candle. Ooh, that's a rejection. Yeah, I'm going to close. I'm going to close. I closed one of the positions. I break even. I didn't like the fact that the 50-minute candle has rejected, 5-minute candle has rejected. I'm going to close another one. Yeah. I closed two positions, right? One at break even, one in a very small profit. I closed two. I don't like the fact that a big 5-minute book candle closed back above, and the 15-minute has rejected 33.32 and closed back above. This is what I didn't want to see. I said I was going to manage risk, and we managed risk there, right? So see, that's how you manage risk, right? So out of the positions we took, we didn't wait for price to get up here. It can go up here, or it can push down, but it doesn't matter. You got to have certain rules of how you manage risk, and you got to follow those rules with every trade that you take. So these lines are based off 30-minute and 15-minute support, resistance levels. But I said, and there is 30-minute support, there is 30-minute and 15-minute support here, zone here as well. And I said if it closes above, then I'm going to manage risk. I'm not going to wait for price to come all the way down, because you've always got to find a way to keep your losses smaller, right, than your wins. Because if you do that, continuously do that, it'll be very easy for one win to recover your losses. But if you let your losses go in drawdown, if you hold your losses and you keep pushing your stop loss, then you're going to have to take several wins to make up for one loss. You see, price is pushing up. It's pushing up. It's pushing up. But let's see if we go higher. I might take another entry because we closed. We broke below. Yeah, if we come up here, maybe I'll take another entry. But right now, I'm not doing anything. I've got these two orders. I'm not doing anything. Just waiting. It's not going to open any more orders. Got these two. I'm going to manage risk. If we break above 33.39, I'll close another one. So I'll close this at about 24 pips. And this one, this entry, I'll close if we get here. Also about 30 pips. That's fine. Anything under 60 pips is good for me. So 20 pips, 30 pips is absolutely fine. Yeah, we are kind of ranging. We are ranging. I was anticipating this. I said this at the beginning. CPI, I mean PPI, we might not have much volume. Volume might coming after the NYSE open. I said that right at the beginning of the stream, and seems like that's what's happening. The 1-hour candle has just closed for 9 hours. We have been ranging for 9 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is the new candle that has just opened. So for 9 hours we've been ranging. We'll have to wait for NYSE open, which is in 25 minutes from now. And volume might come in after that. So we're just going to wait. Not going to do anything. Just wait for NYSE open. And if price comes up, I'll close these trades at these levels here. 33.39, 33.42. And yeah, but there will be a trade today. There will be a trade. I'm very likely there'll be a trade today. It's a Wednesday midweek. Uh, we should get a move today, decent volume, because we've done only 190 pips so far. So we should have a move left for the day. Because Asian session we've moved a bit, and in the London session we've hardly moved. It's about 75 pips in the London session. So there is a trade in the New York session. The question is it going to be after NYSE open, or is it going to be closer towards the London close? The London close is at 12 noon EST, so it could be around 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m., closer towards the opening of the second half of the NY session, right? It's so important how you manage risk, right? Now, price can drop 200 pips, but it doesn't matter. I follow the same risk management rules every day. This closed bullish, rejected this, and it's very likely at price. The next candle has already broken the high, so we could be coming up, right? We could be coming all the way up. Price needs to stay below 33.39 to push down, right? And we saw when price stays below 33.39, then it continues down. Let's look at the 30-minute once again. Look left here. Look at that. When price stays below 33.39, it pushes down. If it stays above 33.39, look at that candle, stays above it, then it pushes up, right? So you want price to stay below 33.39, below 33.39 to continue down. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a 15-minute candle close for price to come down. I want to see a 15-minute bear candle close back below the Asian low. I want a 15-minute bear candle close back below the Asian low, preferably closer to the support zone that we've drawn here, for price to push down. If I see that, then I'll add those positions back in. I'll add them on the pullback. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame. 6 minutes for the candle to close. Closing bearish again. Let's see. Wait for the candle to close. If it closes strong bearish, I'll enter. It's going to wait for the candle to close. And also I'm going to end the stream in about maybe 10 minutes. How long have I been here? An hour, 34 minutes, yeah. Okay, here's what I suggest. Wait for NYSE open, right? Wait for NYSE open. This candle could very likely close a doji, and the next one could either pull back up or break down and continue down. Wait for, in either way, wait for NYSE open. The 4-hour candle has about 50 minutes to close. Yeah, I would say wait for the 4-hour candle to close, in fact, because there's going to be a pullback. The 4-hour candle closes. If we close bearish, we can look to take the sells then. If price pushes all the way back up, then we are rejecting 33, 32, we are pushing up. Keep that in mind. The 4-hour candle is going to close bullish then. I mean, not bullish, it's going to close with a big wick here. And price is then heading up. That means we're rejecting 33, 32. That's a liquidity level, right? So don't do anything right now. Just wait for NYSE session to open, which is in about 19 minutes from now. Yeah, about 19 minutes, NYC session. Just wait for that. Because if we reject this, that means they're pushing up. We get a big wick here, then the next candle is going to dip down and going to go and break the high and continue higher. So there's going to be a trade later on. So watch for what I said. If the 4-hour candle closes with a big wick, rejecting 33, 32, look for the pullback to take the buys for price to go up, break the high and continue higher. Deeper into this liquidity candle, right? That's what you want to do. If we close below, if a 30-minute candle closes back below, this gray closes in the gray area or below it or inside this, then we're heading down into this range, and then you can add to those cells to come down to the bottom of the range. Okay, that's the trade idea. Two trade ideas. We'll come back tomorrow and see which one played out. Yeah, we're coming down. Let's see where did the 50-minute candle close? It's closing bearish. Interesting. Pull back here. I might add another position to this. Manage risk here. Yeah. If we close like this, close bearish below, it needs to close bearish. Strong bearish below this. If not, if it closes the doji, I'm not doing anything. If it closes a strong bearish candle somewhere here, right here, or below this, then I'll add, on the pullback, I'll add another position. If it closes. It doesn't seem like it. We're pushing back up. Yeah, we're pushing up. We haven't broken the low. Yeah, we're pushing up. We're pushing back up. Yeah, I'm not doing anything. It's 20 seconds more. We're pushing up. We're closing a doji, bullish doji. Nothing right now. All right, I've explained the ideas. Let me go through them again. There's nothing to do here. The candle closed a doji. It's very likely the next candle is very likely going to break the high. Now I've closed partial positions anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm waiting for, I will close this trade here at 33.39, and I will close this trade here at around there, maybe around 33.41, right? So 24 pips, 24 pips, right? Which is fine. I'm okay with that. 24 pips stop loss. Now, here's the idea again. Let's talk about the sells first. If a 30-minute candle closes here, bearish candle closes inside this gray area or below it, I'm going to look for the pullback to take the sells to come to the bottom of this range. That's a sell idea, right? Stop loss will be at these levels. You can manage risk at 33.39, or you can place your stop above the swing high, which is this, right? Around 33.41. Look for pullback and for price to come down here. And then further down to these levels, 33.26, 33.23, and 33.19 if there is bearish volume, right? That's the sell idea. And that's where you would manage risk and stop loss above that here, above that 33.41. For buys, wait for the 4-hour candle to close. 4-hour candle is going to close in about 43 minutes. Wait for the 4-hour candle to close and see if this 4-hour candle is rejecting 33.32 and pushing up, going to close somewhere here with a big wick. If that happens, that means we are rejecting. Then on the lower time frame, you will see 30 minutes support form here and a big bull candle close. So then what you want to do is look for the pullback and take the buys to go up. right? And headed above this. So your first TP level will be around 33.43 and then around 33.49, right? 33.43 and 33.48, 33.43, 33.47, right? Those are the buys. 33.43, 33.47. Okay, those are your TPs for your buys, and I've explained exactly what to wait for. See, we're coming up. We're coming up. Coming up. Yeah. See, if it was going down, this would have closed bearish here. Price to continue down. We're coming up. Now I'm going to manage risk here. 33.39. This trade is going to close, and 33.41. This trade is going to close. Right? I'm not going to wait for this. I'm going to close it at 33.41. I'm going to bring this down. So we just have about a 24 pip stop loss on each of them. Right? That's how we manage risk. All right. So I've explained the sell idea and the buy idea for later on. NYC open is about 10 minutes from now. So we will come tomorrow, and before the analysis, we'll do a recap and see which of the two ideas played out. If one of the ideas do play out, I will take the trade and I will post it on my socials, on IG or on X. I do that every day. So you can see if one of them played out, right? We are coming up now. Yeah, I'm going to manage risk on this. There we go. We're coming up. See why this was important? We rejected this candle. Tap 33.32, rejected. Closed bullish, 50-minute candle. That is why as soon as that candle closed, I closed two positions. Otherwise, those two positions would have been in a 33 to 35 pip drawdown. That's why it's important to read candles. There we go. We're coming up. Okay, I'm going to close it at 33.39. There we go. Closed. Perfect. 33.39. And the next one is at 33.41. All right. So I've explained everything. Break-even trades, hardly any losses. Maybe about 24 pips on that. The first two trades were, one was a small win, the other one was a break-even, and on this one, 24 pips, 25 pips on this one. That's it. All right. So I'm waiting for this. If this hits 33.41, then I close that as well. And it looks like we are pushing up, but wait, don't do anything. Just wait for, just 30-minute candle. Tap this. Wait, the price has broken the high. Yeah, I'm going to close this trade. I'm going to close this trade. Eight pips. I'll close it at 8 pip loss. Yeah. Okay, let me keep it. Let's see. It's only 24 pips. I'm just going to keep it. Wait for the 30-minute candle to close. 30-minute candle is going to close in 9.5 minutes, and then we'll end the stream. I'll wait for the candle to close, and we'll end the stream. We're rejecting this. Oh, yeah, we are rejecting this. I'm going to take a couple of sells here. We are rejecting that sniper level. Came up there to the sniper level. We're rejecting 33.39. Took some sells here. 14 pips, so that's okay. Get rid of this one. The reason I drew this like this is because this one tapped that 33, 40, 41, and this one broke the low. And price came to the sniper level, and I'm anticipating a rejection here from 33.39. Let's see how the 5-minute candle is going to close. Let's see. Taking a few entries up here. Hi. Did you just join the stream? I'm just about to end the stream. Been here for what, an hour, almost an hour, 50 minutes. Just waiting for this candle to close. $30-minute candle. I'm anticipating price to close below 33.39. Now, if the next candle breaks the high, that's it. I close everything, do nothing, wait for the two setups that I explained very clearly. I explained a buy setup and a sell setup for later on today. I'm going to wait for that. I took these sells here, added some positions here. Because I'd closed these ones at break even, and one was at about a 25 pip drawdown, and I closed that 24.5 or something. And we are anticipating price to push down, right? I've explained why we are looking for price to push down, or because of all of this that happened here. And then this candle tapped this weekly low, 3340.41. And the next candle broke the low, and price is pulling back to that sniper level. Let's see if we stay below 30 to 39. If we don't, then I close everything. And we wait for one of the two setups to play out. I think we're pushing up. Let's see if you get a reaction here to push down again. Yeah, I think we're pushing up. I think we're going to close strong bullish, and the next one's going to break the high. That's fine. If it breaks the high, I close 20 pips, 20, 23 pips stop loss. That's fine on these trades. It's so important to, I can't emphasize enough, managing risk when price is in drawdown. That just makes your losses so small. And then if you do that correctly, aggressively, then your winners are automatically going to be big, stay big, right? If this trade works out, I don't know if it will. Every trade has a 50% chance of working out. If this does work out, then I've managed risk at 10 pips, 15 pips, 25 pips. And then if you drop here, that's a 10 pip trade. If it drop further down, that's a 140 pip trade, right? So that's why it's important to manage risk. Right? I've drawn these levels 30, 39 well before, and you can see how price is reacting to it. Let's see if we can continue down. Yeah, we did pull back up and on the 1 minute, and we are pushing down now. It's better to wait for a 15-minute back candle to close. Honestly, it's better. It's better because if this closes bullish, strong bullish, the next candle can come and break the high and continue higher. If it closes with a big top wick, that means it's rejecting 33.39 and that sniper level 33.38.5. But if it closes, if the body closes somewhere here, that means the next candle is going to pull back, grab liquidity, create a bottom wick, and then push up and break the high and continue higher. One and a half minutes more. Let's see how the candle is going to close. Okay, so I have shared the ideas. I've taken entries during the stream. I've shared 2 ideas for later on, where the entries should be, what you should watch for, where you should place your stop loss, and where the TP level should be, right? So we'll come back tomorrow, do a recap, and see which one of them played out. And when the candle closes, I'm going to end the stream. We've got another minute for the candle to close. And just as we anticipated, there was no volume for PPI, but the next volume hours is NYSE Open, which is now, right now is NYSE Open when this candle closes. That's the NYSE Open. So hopefully we have volume in the NYSE session. If not in the NYSE session, then the next volume push is going to be after 10:30, after the 4-hour candle closes, right? Which is in another 4-hour candle is going to close in another 30 minutes from now, right? So around after 30 minutes, it's not after 30 minutes, probably around 10:30 or 11 a.m. EST is the next volume push, right? Closer towards the London close, around 12 noon EST. All right, 15 seconds, candle is pushing down. 15-minute is rejecting that area. That's nice. 5-minute is pushing down. Let's see how the 30-minute candle closes. 5 seconds for the candle to close. I've taken entries here. I did it on the stream. Yeah, we're pushing down. Let's see how the 30-minute candle closed. Yeah, 50 rejected area. Okay, so I'm gonna hold these trades. I'm not going to close anything because we clearly rejected. You can see this is what I was expecting, a big wick from 33.39 and then the sniper level 33.38.5, right? We're anticipating price to come down. I manage risk beautifully, so I think 25 pips or something is all I lost today, 25 pips. And I re-entered some positions here when price rejected 33.39, right? On the 1-minute time frame, price clearly rejected 33.39 and 33.38.5. So anticipating price to continue down. All right. See you guys tomorrow. I hope this has been helpful. I hope the streams are helpful. If it didn't, then you don't have to tune in to it tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We'll do our analysis. We've got retail sales tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. EST. So we've got plenty of time to do analysis and wait for news. And we'll see if there is a setup for tomorrow, right? Always remember, ask any questions related to whatever that we're doing here on the chart. I'll always be happy to answer. Yeah, we will be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care. Don't overtrade, don't over risk. See you guys tomorrow.